All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to Sonoman's Sideshow, that is. Recorded at Grim Reaper Studios, located somewhere at the base of the beautiful Blue Mountains in eastern Oregon. I'm your host, Les the Snowman Kinnear, and in the state of Arizona, I go by Papa Sono. We got a great guest tonight, one of my oldest friends. Hopefully I don't screw this up in the recording process, but audio may not be the best, but we got it figured out somewhat. So, Jerrod T. Mikel. Jerrod, welcome to the show.
That's me.
Now, actually, it's not T, but I've always said that because it rolls with it. But what is your middle name?
Tracy.
Oh, it is T. I thought I made that up.
Yeah. When I was in trouble in the neighborhood, it was always Jerrod T, growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, Jerrod and I grew up together in the big town of Pilot Rock. He was a few years older than me, and, I was, let's see, what year did you graduate?
85.
85, yeah. So when I got there, I was in 7th grade, and you were a senior.
Yep.
And my introduction to you was, I remember, when you're younger, you see all the older kids because they're driving, and they're just cool. And, there goes Jerrod. Yeah, it's Jerrod. And, so I lived on Main Street. My family and I did. We had the old hotel there in Pilot Rock, and my half brother, came to live with us. And one night he come home all pissed off, came right through the house, went to the backyard, grabbed a splitting maul, and then he was like, saying he was going to go kick the hell out of somebody. And he went through the house, and who does he go out there? It's Jerrod T. Mikel and Dennis.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Yeah.
I don't.
So
I remember you talking about it, but I can't remember it. What did I do?
Well, I don't think it was necessarily you. I think it was more like maybe Dennis and him kind of got into it. Yeah, at the mini mart, and then you guys saw him standing outside there, and you guys both pulled in there. All, hey, you got a problem? And then
shoot.
And then Eric was freaked out, my brother, so he went to because he didn't know anybody at the time there. And
God
so,
dang it.
anyways, no, that was hilarious, and we all became good friends. So what does it matter, right?
I know. I remember when Eric picked us up in that Humvee that day. Remember?
Yes, that was awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
He was in the guard or something, right?
Yeah. Yep. He was in the guard.
Yeah, that was great.
So what?
You know what? I don't remember what was going on. I was always in, stirring up some kind of trouble. It seemed like.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm sure it happened.
Well, yeah, we stirred up a lot of trouble. When it's a small town and you don't know, there's nothing to do but get in trouble,
Yeah.
So where are you living at, Jerry? Where are you at these days? What's going on?
I'm living in Richland, Washington.
You're in Richland now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's close.
I'm close.
Oh, cool. Right on. And living the dream and just having fun, huh?
I'm semi-retired.
Yeah.
And I'm right now I'm not selling cars. I took a break from selling cars. I'm getting ready to go back.
Yeah.
So I'm doing Instacart, Les.
What is that?
I shop for groceries for people.
Really?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah,
it's terrible.
That seems like that'd be too much pressure because now you've got to pick the right stuff. What if you don't get the right lettuce or the freshest?
It doesn't let you get the wrong thing.
Oh.
And you have to scan everything, with your cell phone. You have to scan the barcode.
Yeah.
And so, but sometimes you can't find what they want.
Right.
And it's just a pain. It's like you said, it's stressful.
Yeah, it seems like it would be.
It's stressful.
And you shouldn't be stressing out as you get closer to full retirement.
No, but selling cars is 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. I shouldn't do that either. But I like to do that. It's fun.
Right.
So.
I think no matter what, even when you retire fully, you'll always have a side hustle because you've always had a side hustle. Always.
Gotta have a hustle, man.
Yeah.
Gotta.
Yeah. So now that you're in Richland, though, that means just kind of going through my list of topics tonight. We got I was going to bring up that we got WhiskeyFest coming up in July, and it makes me think of so it's an outdoor concert. I'm probably not going to go to it, but and that is going to be let me see who's coming to that. That is Kane. Let's see. trying to remember, Kane Brown and Flo Rida.
Oh yeah.
So apparently they're coming to that, and let's see. I thought I had it pulled. Oh, there it is. Yeah, July 15th. 6 p.m. at the Roundup Grounds is the WhiskeyFest, and it's Kane Brown and Flo Rida and some other people I don't recognize all their names. But anyways, made me think of you and I. You know, you went to a lot of concerts back in the day. I remember.
Remember when we went and saw Wham? Remember that?
No, you and I went and watched Village People, but
well, Wham opened up for the Village People.
That's true.
Remember when you told that lady at the store, we're going to see Wham, and she looked at you like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Oh, I said that?
You don't remember that, huh?
No.
Oh, I remember everything of that trip. It was the first concert I ever went to stone cold sober. Like.
Which concert was it?
AC/DC.
Oh, down at the Gorge. I mean,
yeah, we
Portland.
had to fly home. Remember?
Yes, that was a trip. We
that was a great.
What year was that? That was a Thunderstruck tour.
It was when they had that big, huge mudslide in the gorge.
Yeah. Thunderstruck tour, so early or mid 90s. Mid 90s, and
I don't remember what truck I had. I think I was living up above Main Street, so it was either 94 to 95, probably. 95.
Yeah. And then we drive down there to Portland. It's 3-hour drive. We go to AC/DC, which was really fun. We had a great time. And then meanwhile, while we're watching the concert, it's a tropic storm outside. Only it's not the tropics, and it's just coming down, and the freeway got flooded out, and we didn't know it. So when we went out of the concert to try to go home, we didn't know what to do. We didn't have anywhere to stay. We didn't have. All of us were young enough that we had to work. You couldn't just call in, you know. So we just went to the airport. We left my car there and we flew home. And then we drove back a week later, but we had to come down the Washington side to pick up my car at the airport. That was wild.
See, we couldn't take the Washington side that night because it was slid shut too somewhere.
That's right. It was shut
closed.
too.
Everywhere was closed.
Right.
Hemispheric River is shit as well. It was terrible.
Yeah, and every time I drive that gorge, I look up in that area where that slide was, and then I immediately think of AC/DC and me, you, and Stacy, and oh man,
Kevin
what a trip!
Addison?
Huh?
Remember, Kevin was there.
No. Oh, they went. We met him there or something.
They rode in his brother-in-law's truck. It was lifted, and they made it around Mount Hood. They went home that way. They were treading water the whole way, or a lot of the way.
That's right.
But they made it, and it was like sketchy for them.
Yeah, that's right. They made it, and we didn't, but that's all right.
Because we were in a car, you know?
Yeah, good times. Well, what are you, now I can see kind of out the back window there. Are you in a apartment place, or do you have to take care of your yard?
No, I live in an apartment. Oh,
good. Then you don't have to take care of your yard.
No.
I mean, I know you're an old landscaper in heart, but I downsized to the house that I'm in now, so I didn't have to do as much landscaping. So right now I've hit that sweet spot, but just not a lot of yard, not a lot of stuff to worry about. But Jerrod, guess what I did?
What?
I went all electric, bro.
You know what? I did too. I've got when I was renting up and when actually I had a yard. I had a gas lawnmower that was theirs, and then everything else was electric. Trimmer, all that stuff.
Yeah. I started with
Which brand did you go with?
I went with Ego.
I love those. I love that.
Check this out. I didn't believe in them, and then I come home one day and Wendy has one sitting out there. It's been used 2 times by a gal we know, Barb from the training center, Rosenberg. Yeah. And so Barb didn't like it, so she sold it to Wendy for $50, and it's like a $600 deal. So I tried it. It was awkward at first, but I got used to it, and I'm like, why the hell would I go buy gas now and go through all that work? And so I got rid of my lawnmower, and then this year I got the combo. I got the leaf blower and the weed eater, and I gave my neighbor my leaf blower and my weed eater. They were nice, steel, but you have to mix gas.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to mix gas.
Isn't it easy? I love the stuff, but I can't use mine now. I belong on the sidewalk. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's just the way to do it.
All that good stuff.
You don't have to pack around a gas can or anything. So
it's good. It's the way to go.
It really is. It really is. See, another thing that happened to me recently, Jerrod, that I wanted to share with you and the listeners was, and I'm embarrassed about this one. So, last Thursday, I get off work and I love to kayak. And so where Jerrod and I are from, there's a reservoir out here, the Mikel Creek Reservoir. So I boogied out there and it's getting full. So I went all the way to the end and then I paddled up to where Mikel Creek comes into there. Cause I wanted to, it's kind of cool up there when it's flooded like this.
Awesome.
So I kayaked all the way up there and I've done it multiple times and, I could see where, and I know the snow's melting up the mountains. So it was rushing a little more than normal. But I didn't think it was anything bad. And so I tried to cut across it. And when I did, I just wasn't ready. And it caught the front of my kayak and flipped me over. Now it's only 4 or 5 feet deep all the way across.
Okay,
right there
well,
because it's, but the current was moving
right
so
in
strong,
here.
I couldn't stand up.
I'm at the mouth
and
for the.
So I grabbed what I could and floated over the side. It took me half an hour to get my kayak drained. And it was all that mud and silty. And first thing I knew, I lost my cell phone. Now, it was a brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max.
About a foot or two higher than it was because I could see mud banks on both sides.
I had paid. So
I tried to. It
splits I was really
right here.
I'm
on
used to start doing this
and I tried to go from that side over here and use rushing this side.
So
kerdunked me, and I think right about.
I was so pissed off, Jerrod. I was devastated, and it took me forever to get out of there, and then I had to paddle all the way back.
So now I gotta get over there and figure it out.
I tried to get the wall. I tried to go in there and get it. I couldn't. The current was too strong. It was really ice cold, and so anyways, I come home. I'm all mad and sad, and my wife says it's okay because this is the first time I've ever done this, but I got insurance on that phone this time.
Oh, nice.
I was like, yes. So long story short, a week later, I had a brand new phone. It takes a while to get all that shit hooked up, as you know, like getting your apps back on and your contacts, and I got all that stuff straightened out.
Did you transfer your contacts?
What?
How did you transfer all your contacts since your other phone was gone?
Cloud.
Oh, cool.
Apple Cloud. Okay. And so the only thing it didn't bring over was the pictures that it had brought over. Now, that I had been using from two phones, so to speak. So like my phone that I filmed the podcast with is a Galaxy, a really nice one. But I dropped it and cracked it. So I just use it for the camera. And then I went and got an iPhone. So all my photos are still on the old one, backed up by Google. But on my iPhone, I lost anything I've taken in the last 2 months. But anyways, so I lose the phone. I'm crying. I had a brand new phone Saturday morning on my doorstep, and I was able to do all the stuff myself, get it. And I couldn't believe it. So that insurance, I mean, I don't know if we paid.
Those are $1,500, right?
Yes, exactly. So I had dropped $1,400 in 4 foot of water and couldn't get it. And it had an OtterBox on. So this is my new one, and it has, it's exactly the same, has the same OtterBox and everything. So I had to go.
Turn your locator on. See if it's still doing the signal.
Well, hey, I've already been out there again because then my wife said, "Hey, you know what? I saw somebody mention this. Have you ever heard of mag fishing?" So it's a magnet on the end of a line, and it's kind of a hobby that people have, and they go where people put in and out of water, in boats, and they just throw it out there and bring it in. It's supposed to pick up all kinds of things, So Wendy bought me one. And it was a 400-pound, it would pick up 400 pounds. And I went out. So 1 week later, I go out to the very spot that I fell in. I had my new phone and I had that magnet. And I this time I had all my phone and stuff in a waterproof container. But, and I tried, but the thing is the water is about a foot deeper than it was, flooded over than it was when I was there. So I couldn't see the exact spot, and plus the current's still
probably moving.
Yeah, the current's still strong, but I'm still going to go out there all summer because that'll dry up. eventually, and we'll see how maybe I can find it. It'll be kind of a cool trophy. So, and then I can start to mag fishing as a side hobby. But
so, did you find anything when you went mag fishing?
no, nothing. And I didn't really think so because the water moves so fast right there, and then when it's not moving fast, it's not even there's no water there. So it's you know what I mean. It's feast or famine. So that's why I think this summer I can go out there and find it. But I was really embarrassed by that. I couldn't believe it because I go out there all the time and I'm being cocky with my phone and filming things and, and
boosh.
Yep. Half wit. So anyways,
at least you didn't drown,
Yeah. And that was the thing is I wasn't really worried about drowning because I'm a good swimmer. And I was like, when my foot hit the ground, I felt much better. And I was like, oh, it's not over my head, but then I was like, oh, maybe I can get the cell phone, but I just couldn't. It was just so cold and moving so fast, and I lost my Bi-Mart fishing pole, but that's all right.
Your what?
My Bi-Mart fishing pole.
Oh no.
So, sticking with the theme of music too, we were talking about all the concerts and all that. My dad told me about a new show out, and I just finished it, called Daisy Jones and the Six. It's on Amazon Prime.
Prime?
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, and I'm not usually a big music band story type unless it's a real story, but apparently it's loosely based on Fleetwood Mac or something to that effect. I don't know. Or inspired by them or something to that effect. But I watched the show, and my dad got me the book. My dad's a big reader, and so he's always getting me these books, and I'll read it too, but I just finished the show. And then the other book he got me was Hammer of the Gods, the Led Zeppelin Saga by Stephen Davis. Apparently this came out in the first print was 85, but it talks about their, rock and roll journey and all the stuff they go through. So I got a couple of books just keeping with the theme of music, but that Daisy Jones, the show on Amazon, was pretty good.
It's good.
I didn't know that I didn't think it would keep me interested, but it did, and I liked it. So
cool.
But what are you watching, Jerrod? You watch anything? Are you a TV guy or a reader?
No,
or?
I'm not. I haven't watched any. I have no shows.
Yeah.
Nothing news on, that's any good.
No. No. And
he's dead.
I quit watching TV a lot, mostly, but now I found Brad Fairbank, our buddy Brad Fairbank.
Yeah,
Brad has him and his son started a little side gig where they have a thing called Ridgetop TV, and it's a web-based television app. And so I watch all my pay-per-views for UFC and all that stuff on this Ridgetop, and it's only $21 a month. Where to watch UFC, I'd have to pay for the Fight and or ESPN Plus.
Yep.
So anyways, it's already paid for itself, and I've talked about it a bunch of times on the show, but I really do like it. And where was I going with that? So Brad, he started that, and I've been watching. I'm not sure where I was going with that, brother, but it was I do get to watch a lot of sports on it. So do you and that's about all I do is watch the sports and maybe a couple of, because that's what it is. It picks up the you can watch HBO stuff on it too. So any series that's on HBO, I could get on my app.
Really?
And so yeah. And I don't have HBO.
They have these things. Some people have these things over here. They're like $200, $300, and you can get stuff for free, like pay-per-view, all that stuff for free. But if they're $200-$300 out of your pocket to start with, and then after a while it won't work anymore because they scramble. They figure it out. Scramble.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think it's not legitimate at all. So I don't have one.
See, I felt that way too. I was like, come on, Brad. I don't know. This is weird. But I've decided he they said it's all on the up and up, and so I trusted him, and
he probably can update it too. Since you're paying for a subscription, you're not done with it,
Yeah, and you know what? You're right, because when you open the app, you just put the app on like your on your phone or your one of those Fire Sticks, and when you start it, God dang it, how's it work? See, you put that on your app, and then when the app comes up, you have to hit refresh, and I bet it does what you're saying. It refreshes the scramble.
It'll get you new programs and stuff.
Yeah. And
because they scramble those.
Yeah.
They'll scramble them.
Well, hopefully the damn FCC or something doesn't show up on my doorstep someday. Says I owe them $6,342.
Tell him you know where Brad lives. Go to his house.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And sticking with well, let's see. I don't want to stay in music. Well, let me finish with this on the music episode stuff. Headed to Palm Springs next week. My dad and
oh wow.
Yeah, my family. What's that?
Perfect time of year for Palm Springs.
Huh? Yeah, I think it's going to be slightly warm, but we're headed down there because they have well, we like going down there with them. We've went at least once, and it's a Joshua Music Festival's going on, Joshua Tree Music Festival.
Uh-huh.
And there's so many bands. I mean, there are maybe over 30 bands.
Oh, wow.
But they're all, like independents and more, this is just my feeling as I've looked over some of the literature and the website is it's a lot of, independents or people that are not mainstream, and more
maybe
are not, I think it's all kind of artsy. And let me see, I think I have a thing on what's going on there that I got it. Here it is. Okay. The Joshua Tree Festival, they have over 30 artists. There's a OM zone where you can do all things like breathing, yoga, and movement. There's a sanctuary where there's mindful discussion, storytelling, and daily AA meetings. There's a queer salon, queer and trans art, performance, Skillshare, racial justice talk, youth and local resources, and more. Let's see, there's all kinds of, it's an artsy thing, kind of a hippie artsy thing. And
so, have you heard about the big show in October that they're having, like the 6th through the 9th?
Where?
It's by there. It's going to be AC/DC.
Oh yeah.
Guns N' Roses. It's called Power Trip or something like that.
I thought I heard something about that. How is AC/DC still playing?
I want to go to that. I want to take Rihanna. I owe Rihanna a trip, and I owe Derek a trip from after they turn 21.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Right. How are the kids? How are all your kids? How many grandkids you got?
I have 2 grandkids, 3 and 6.
Nice.
Yeah. Q and Abigail.
Nice.
Yeah, they're great. They're cool. Okay. And then Jordan, Jordan's doing real well.
Yeah.
Her and her guy, they built a new house out in Weston a few years ago, and
right on.
They're doing great. And
Good.
Then Brianna's in Pendleton right now, but she works remotely for Gobi.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a good job, man. She's
Great.
got a real good job. And then
Right.
Derek's over here with me, and he's going to be doing. He's going to, after he gets done helping his uncle, he's in the Dalles. He's going to help, or he's going to do a apprenticeship for electrician, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that would be cool.
Better than I ever was.
Get good money there. Oh, come on, Jerrod. You were one of the hardest working people I ever knew.
Yeah, but I didn't get rich.
Neither did I. Dude.
Didn't get rich.
I know. I could do a whole episode about what I should have done, but.
Oh, no kidding.
So, all right. Well, that's cool. Let me jump into the next thing here. I got some strange news. I don't like just regular news because I don't really care about politics and all that stuff. Yeah. I know I should and all that, but it's just I'm burnt out. So, I look up weird stories, and I have these 2 weird stories here. And I thought, okay, really? So here is, let me find the story here. This is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Approximately 2 million dimes, the equivalent of $200,000, was taken from a tractor trailer in the parking lot of a Philadelphia Mills shopping mall complex in northeast Philadelphia on Thursday morning. According to the police, the truck driver had picked up the $750,000 worth of dimes from the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and then parked the truck at the mall, and he must have went in there or was sleeping in his pickup or whatever. And so they came in and stole about $200,000 worth of dimes. And that story just cracked me up because I envision myself as a young kid, and me and you or Bun and all us, dude. We've got to say $1,000 in dimes, man. We got to spend that and just every day keep chipping away at it. But I mean, what the hell is somebody going to do with $200,000 in dimes?
There's nothing.
It's the crap people steal these days is bizarre.
Oh, man.
All right. The only other story I found that was worthy of this, and this is kind of dark, but headline is this: a freak accident in Dimmitt Dairy Farm, at the Dimmitt Dairy Farm in Texas. An explosion kills most of the cattle at the dairy farm. So this is a trip, and maybe it's more interesting to me because due to a previous job, I actually went on a tour through a dairy, the workings of it and the machinery, and saw how it all worked. And this place is in Dimmitt, Texas, and apparently, I think this happened like 2 weeks ago. April 20th. Apparently, it was state of the art. Like, the places I've seen, like the cows, like sometimes they just rotate through. They're standing on something and they don't even move, and this thing rotates through, and people are putting stuff on them, and it's all automated now. It's wild. Really? So, whatever happened at this place, it was all fully automated and everything, but apparently what it was a hydraulic leaked and caught fire somehow, whatever, but it killed almost 18,000 dairy cows. And I was thinking, damn, I mean, that's a lot of dairy cows. And I started doing the math, and I'm like, okay, I looked up on Google. I'm like, how much does a typical dairy cow cost? Or what's its worth? And it gave me a range of $900 to $3,000. Somewhere in there. And I'm like, okay, so you multiply that by 18,000. Those people lost $16 million to $54 million just like that.
It blew up, right?
Yeah, apparently it blew up and just charred them. Now, I know this is probably gross, but it probably smelled like barbecue at some point, and people were like, damn, smells good. Yeah. But then the hair, yeah. But what a terrible way for all those animals to die, too.
Jesus.
So, anyways, that's one of my other weird stories. We talked about sports. Again, I don't really watch sports anymore, Jerrod, but I do watch the UFC stuff, which I didn't watch a lot of it when I was younger, but my son befriended a young man who fights in the UFC, and so now he kind of lives in one of this guy's rentals, and craziness assumes all the time. And
really,
yeah, I'll have to tell you about it sometime, but it's been wild. So it's gotten me into watching it again, and now when you watch it week after week, you start learning like a soap opera who all the characters are, the different weight divisions, and so it's been really fun. And then I know I'm a heathen all of a sudden. I tried DraftKings, and all I do is $1 on the preliminary fights, and I do $5 on the main, and I put $25. Started with 25, and I'm at 58 right now. But
it's fun though, right?
It's so much fun. I don't do it to like make money. It's just to
No.
And then watching the UFC stuff has been awesome. And so this weekend tonight, we have big fights, which I'm going to watch on Ridgetop. And so I'm just going to bring up the card here.
What's his name?
And this card is kind of a big deal because, let's see, it's Aljamain Sterling against Henry, I can't say his name, Shudo. And they're bantamweights. So that friend of my son's is a bantamweight. So he will end up fighting one of these guys because he's ranked number 3. He was 1. So he'll end up. So that's why we're really watching this tonight, because we can see who he may fight next.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And there's a bunch of other good fights on the card, and when I do the podcast, I always post the card up here so you can see it. And I think Gilbert Burns is fighting on there. Some of my other favorite fighters. But yeah, that'll be fun watching it on Ridgetop tonight. So you don't watch any more sports at all, huh?
You know what? I haven't watched a basketball game all year. I watched a few football games. I like football.
You still like football? You still like your Pittsburgh Steelers?
Steelers, yeah, but man, we're we're not Super Bowl ready for who knows when.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm not that excited about them.
You know how many times I've had to go to Super Bowl parties with you, and it's your team in there?
Yeah, I know, but your team's knocked us out of a couple though.
Oh, right. The Chargers. I still call them the San Diego Chargers. I don't care where they're at, but yeah, the Bolts. And I barely pay attention to him now. My son does. He's gung ho in it, and he
Where's
loves.
He live in?
What's that?
Where does he live at?
So Blake lives in Peoria, Arizona. It's just a suburb of Phoenix. And he goes to college there. There's a Grand Canyon University. He's working on his broadcasting type degree, sports media, stuff like that. And then, like I said, he's renting this house from this UFC guy. This guy buys property when he gets his winnings, and is real savvy that way, I guess. And he's renting this house out to Blake and some of their other buddies. And so they're like an entourage, if you will. And they do crazy things, and he treats them good. He takes care of them. He's always buying them watches and toys and taking them places and paying for everything. And yeah, him and his trainer. So Tim Welch, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Arizona. Look him up. Guy's an animal. So is Sean. But anyways, yeah, it's been an interesting journey for him while he's down there. And he should graduate. I think he said he graduates in the spring. Next fall.
Wow.
Or maybe it's the spring, but he's not far off, and then I'm not sure what he's going to do after that, but he's having the time of his life, and that's all you can ask for.
Now, how long was he in? He was in the Air Force, right?
Yeah, he was in the Air Force, that's right. Yeah.
How long?
4.5 years, and I talked him into doing all of those overseas, because I was like, anybody can go to Idaho, or, be stationed in Seattle. I mean, like, just go wherever. So, yeah, he went to northern Japan, and then Germany, and then was deployed to Kuwait for a little while, and then
really?
Yeah, and then came back to Germany, and then came home. So, and yeah, living the dream. So, well, when you going to be in town again?
I need to come see my parents probably next weekend.
Oh, good. We should. Actually, next weekend we're leaving for Palm Springs. But now that I know you're in Tri-Cities, we'll have to get together.
Come over, because when I start selling cars, you can just stop by the lot and we'll take a test drive or something,
Okay. Yeah, and I just ordered a canopy from Freddy's Trading Post.
From where?
Freddy's Trading Post.
Are you still have that Duramax?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got to pick that up. When he picks that up, I'll definitely swing by your place. I don't know. It's going to take several weeks for it to get here, but.
That's about when I'm going to be going back. Here in probably a week or two, probably 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to stay in touch this summer. I'm going to try to I like to go camping up at Indian Lake a lot lately, last couple of years, just because it's been really cool up there, really nice. And I'm going to do a Squatch Fest. So I'll invite friends and family. And we're just going to, try to go find a Sasquatch. So I don't know if you want to run around the woods with like raw meat and we can just try and see if Squatch is real, or do you have any Squatch stories?
I think he is real. Yeah.
Do you have any stories?
I remember when I was a kid that they thought he was over in Heppner.
Yeah.
And it ended up being somebody crossed the road with a pizza, and and the toppings fell off in the middle of the road, and that was a Bigfoot pooped in the road, But it ended up being somebody's pizza toppings.
Okay, well.
So that's the only one I got.
I've heard about some sightings around. There's a lot of sightings in the Blue Mountains here. But as far as you and I close to our home, I don't know if there's been too many close right here. But if there are any, they definitely would be up at Indian Lake, because that's up there a ways. I mean, it's not far, but most people don't know about it, right? It's not a well-known area, and
there's some open woods back there. I mean, no roads.
Yes. So, and you've got streams and stuff like that. So I can see them being up there. So August 11th, I think, or 12th, whatever that weekend is, when I'm going to go camping up there. I rented the Cove, and so there's plenty of room for anybody. Really? If you want to come camping, I got all the camping gear too. So let me know when you come up. My dad's going to try to make it, and probably Joe Burns.
Joe Burns, cool.
Yeah,
Joe's a good guy.
Yeah, Joe will probably go, and so stuff like that. But What do you got coming up this summer? I know you're gonna kind of work here and there and see the grandkids. And
I want to go see. I think I'm gonna go see Jelly Roll and Eric Church up at the Gorge.
Really?
I still got to get tickets, but yeah, that'll be easy. Yeah. I know some people up in Wenatchee that have great tickets for sale.
What's the last concert you went to?
Let's see. What did I see?
Favorite concert of all time? Oh, I'm getting grainy reception. There you are. You there?
Yeah.
What's your favorite band?
Oh.
Concert that you ever went to?
Guns N' Roses is the best. Okay, not Aerosmith. Guns N' Roses.
Right on. Okay, I missed it the first time. Cool. All right. I know that's always kind of been one of your hobbies is music. So.
I like loud music.
You do.
I even like loud country music now. You know.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny how we change like that?
I'm getting old. Jeez.
Well, that's what's weird is I feel like you and I still look like we're in our late 20s, early 30s.
I wish. I feel like I'm about 40 some days, and then some days I feel 56, you know?
Right. All right. Well, Jerrod, hey, that's about it. We're going to wrap this baby up. I appreciate you sitting in with me today so I don't have to be all by my lonesome. It was fun talking to you.
I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
Dave, you ever see him?
I do see Dave sometimes.
Is he still really good at dodgeball?
I don't know about that, but he still looks the same.
He does?
He
was, dodgeball was his sport, man.
I know it.
Dodgeball was his sport.
And he was gray back then, and he still looks the same. Avion.
Really?
Yeah. Good guy.
He's going to college, right?
What?
I wonder if he took dodgeball in college because he was really good. He was going to Blue U up there.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember that, but all right, brother. Well, thanks for joining me tonight.
Okay.
Actually, stick around while I do the outro, and the outro goes a little something like, oops, I hit the wrong thing. You know, that's the thing about this technology. It just gotta be smarter than that. All right. That's a wrap, folks. Be sure to catch the next episode. Until then, keep your eyes... I'm reading it wrong and everything. I'm just falling apart, Jerrod. All right, I want to thank tonight's guests, listeners, and sponsors. Bill Murphy Roofing, Wandering Wizard Concepts, Vertical Jigs and Lures, Liberty Detection Services, DCL Photography, The Shop, DieselFuelKilters.com, History Hunters and Firearm Antiquities, Metal by Mora, Pendleton Outfitters, Ridgetop TV, and the John P. Salter Foundation. I want to thank Jerrod. He's one of my oldest homies. I love him. That's a wrap. Be sure to catch the next episode. Until then, keep your nose clean if it takes both sleeves and say nice things about Jerrod and I because we are out of here.
Out of here.